Yeah, hopefully better late than never, that's for sure. You outlined why some home builders are certainly struggling at the moment or have been for some time. What's the outlook then for this year for the building industry?
So as I mentioned, a record volume of homes under construction at the moment, but the volume of work entering the pipeline is very low. We've seen new home sales falling for almost 12 months now, and they're down to very low levels. We saw it bite particularly hard in Sydney in November and in Melbourne in February. It hasn't flowed through to quite the same extent in other jurisdictions. And that's the point at which the amount of money banks are prepared to lend is lower, or for a new home construction is lower than the price of an established home of similar standard. And that just sees the volume of work come off very quickly. And so we're seeing that at the moment. That leads us to a forecast which sees 2024 as the fewest number of new home starts since 2012. And we're seeing that in the official data already. Lending for the purchase and construction of a new home is currently at its lowest level since 2008. Now, typically that would be sufficient to drag the national economy into recession, but it's not going to happen in this cycle for the reason that there is still that very large volume of work under construction. That's 2 years worth of homes. It's going to take 12 to 18 months to reach completion. And by the time we see this low number of starts coming through, these long and treacherous lags, we should be seeing a cut to the cash rate and new home building picking up on the other side, because the fundamentals are not broken. 3.5% unemployment, 3.5% economic growth and strong population growth. All of that should see demand for new homes continue. Of course, I've missed the other part of the industry, which is renovation work, which accounts for 20 to 30% of all subcontractor activity. And it remains at a record high. It has come off a little bit with the rise in the cash rate, but the nature of COVID, people working from home more, and of course, all of the storm damage that we saw last year means that that renovation activity is going to remain exceptionally strong, probably for the next few years.
And just based on that then, have you got any advice? I mean, what should you do before signing a building contract right now?
Well, I think at this point, we're in quite a different cycle to what we were. And from a builder's perspective, any moves to ensure that they're able to accommodate future price increases and contracts that builders have been engaging in for the past 18 months should have all reflected that we knew that we're going to see some very high price increases. And so at the moment, the homes that builders are completing should have a margin in them. And from a consumer perspective, if you're looking to build or renovate, then beginning the process now should see you getting on the ground at a time in 2024 when building activity is coming off and there should be increased competition for the provision of that building activity.
Tim Reardon, good to speak with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Anytime.